Hey Dwayne, welcome back, my friends. Welcome back to another episode of No Country for Otakus. After taking a week hiatus, I had to go out of town. Boyfriend duties. And we're back in this bitch. At this week, we are talking about what the fuck you call it? Oh, Rin, Daughters of Mnemosyne?
Mnemosyne or something like that.
Oh my god. So, yeah. I know the M silent. Whatever. I'm not even gonna try to fucking butcher that shit. Very weird anime. But before we jump into that, guys, a buddy of mine, he's in Germany. He dropped a fucking rock album. Burning Barracks, that's the name of the rock album. Little independent group, you should check them out. And we all have a favorite song on this motherfucker. And I'm gonna play like a couple seconds of it. Hopefully I don't get in trouble. Baby, ride me! Ride me. Baby, ride me. Yo, shout out on the launch, guys. Shout out on the launch, man.
I hope you guys get some more airtime. I love the album. The music was nice. The guitar riffs are beautiful. Man, keep doing your thing. I want to hear more. Hell yeah.
First album.
Not necessarily
So.
like Rin me, but I want to hear more.
It's not the best song, but it's our favorite because it's just like came out of nowhere. Like it was just like rock, and then sex.
Exactly, because the album had a tone. It was like serious. Like Mankind was talking about a lot of deep stuff, and then right out of nowhere, I think it's right. It's like nine tracks.
Yeah,
and it literally came at track 4. Boom, sound different. Ride me.
Oh god. So that's the big joke. Not joke, but funny. It was funny because it was just so random.
Yeah.
That's what I meant to say. It's so random. So yeah. So we going this. So this week we talk about Rin, and then we going.
Before you continue, you can find their album on Spotify, Apple
There we go.
Music, and SoundCloud. Okay, that's our plug.
That's our plug. Shout out to Johannesson. Or is that yeah. Joe. I call him Joe. I was like, bro, I'm not calling that name. Alright, so let's jump into this anime. Rin. 6
Mnemosyne. I had to read it.
You gotta read it, bro. Like I just pulled it up here. Oh gosh. So came out in 2008, February, ended in July 2008. 6 episodes. Each episode is an hour long, though, so that's a little different. It's almost like each episode is like a movie.
Yeah. Pretty much hitting that Gatchaman OVA kind of style.
Yeah. No. Not right now. We already killed that song every episode. I think that song's been involved in like the last few episodes we've been chatting. So that's still one of the best. That song plus King's Game intro.
Yeah.
You know who has a funny intro too? Oh man, not Kenji, the Akagi.
Mm-hmm.
That's the dude that sings the opening for. He sings his fucking long so. Yo, I was like, bro, that boy. This dude, put your heart into this bitch. He put his heart into it.
That man was crying.
Yo, dog. I was about to ask. I was like, was he crying in the booth? Like he was just so passionate, bro.
It it's all like what they did. The associates here where like the woman left the man, and the man just outside like, why?
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
God,
Why?
why?
Why did I get hard? Yo, you. Ah, shit.
I love that song.
So.
I think that is one of the intros that I never skip.
Mm. It's actually, yeah.
That Parasite.
That Parasite.
Yeah.
You didn't watch Evangelion, huh?
Nah, not yet. I could watch it for next week if you want.
Yeah, you don't have to, but the intro, you're not skipping that. Well, everyone knows the intro, even if you never watched the anime.
Hey, and check it out afterwards and see if I know it.
I'm telling you, you know it. You've probably heard it. I can't sing it off my head, obviously, because it's in Japanese, but yeah. So, yeah. Alright, bro, so what's your thoughts on this anime, man? What's your thoughts on Rin? Daughters of Weirdness. I mean,
You said it. It was weird, man. It was so weird. Like, I remember the story, but I can't remember the details of the story. Because it kept jumping so much. Like,
yeah.
Like, hey, we are trying to find a cat. Oh my god, this guy is a clone. And yeah, I'm naked. What?
So, to just explain the time jump, bro, it jumped 2 generations. Because you had the guy.
But you realize it jumped within each episode.
Yeah.
Right at the end, there will be a new timeline. And I'm like, oh my god.
Mm-hmm. It was 2 generations. But it was supposed to show that she was immortal, or the immortality of these people. But you had the son. After the son shows up, after the father dies, and then the daughter. 2 generations, bro. I was like, holy shit. And the daughter was like practically grown. She was in college.
Yeah, she was grown.
Yeah. And they also show like the world going to shit and then like slowly start to come back after it went in that 1.0 or 2.0 section.
Yeah. You know what?
This was only 1 episode. And then that weird ending with the hermaphrodite and shit.
Yeah. It was you know what? It was a good story.
Oh yeah.
I quite enjoyed the story.
Mm-hmm.
It was a bit weird.
A bit?
Yeah, it was weird. Like, especially at episode 2 when you got introduced to the angels, and I was like, what the man is going on? And it was like crazy. But I thought the story flowed really nicely. The only thing I would critique would be the animation, because the placement or the plot device to show the time jump wasn't that strong.
Yeah, it was just literally like the one character, like the character's aging.
Character changing. Because if you like, I watched episode 3 again when he died, and I was like, the detective don't change.
Well, he changes at the end. Like, he slowly changes, then he dies.
At the end. But, I mean, if the other guy who was younger than him, like, he should have been a little bit changed.
A little bit, yeah.
And I can't really understand it. So it was...
Yeah, well, that's why I thought it was just a guy aging weird because he was a clone, because the detective didn't change that much until, like, episode 5 or something. Or 4.
Episode 5, where 4, episode 4, where he got
right. Yeah. But at that point he was old.
Yeah, he had retired.
But the son had already grown up.
Yeah, and he didn't look that much difference, and I'm like, what is going on? Because his hair didn't change, like his face didn't wrinkly. And I'm like, yo, you should be dead by now,
or at least extremely old.
Yeah, like I would understand if he moves from Or maybe don't change him, but change his
The
job.
title? Yeah, because he was a detective for a long ass time, if you really think about it.
Yeah, 30 years, man. He should have been like superintendent by now.
Yeah, it's hard as hell to get that job, apparently. I don't know, man. Probably didn't. I ain't gonna say. Anyway, so that would have been a really inappropriate statement. I ain't gonna say that shit. Get attacked. So pretty much, if you haven't seen this anime, pretty much these people are like ran into stuff are immortals. From this tree, there's this time fruit that goes into people called. This tree is called Yggdrasil.
Yggdrasil.
Yeah, Yggdrasil. Ain't that some Greek shit? No,
Mm-hmm.
that's Norse.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
Yggdrasil is Norse.
Norse. Yeah. So Yggdrasil release these time fruits, and they'll go into like a female, and she'll become immortal. But if they go into a man, they'll turn into like these weird, sex craved, cannibalistic angels.
Does that remind you of anything?
Cannibalistic angels?
Yeah.
Nah, you gotta jock me. What's up?
Silver-eyed witch.
Oh shit.
Claymore.
Yeah. Fuck. I'm still reading that manga, bro. I had to take some breaks. That shit heavy. Shit heavy, bro.
How far have you gone?
Not that far, man. I'm now like in like the chapter 70 something, like in the 80s. They just went back to that city that she was with the dude in the like way back in the beginning of the anime.
City?
Yeah.
Oh,
and they're because right now the organization just killing off going around
abyssals.
Yeah. And it's anyway, that's a different story. But I'm slowly making my way through that. So Yggdrasil released the time fruits, going to women. Women become immortal. If it hits a man, they turn into the weird angels and shit. And pretty much it follows this lady named Rin and her assistant. And they're pretty much like private investigators. And it starts off, like you said, with trying to find a cat. And then they encountered Koki?
Koki or something like that.
Yeah, Kouki. Do with that as you will.
I kept singing the Hokey Pokey song.
The
Hokey. Koki.
Koki. So we will go with Koki. And that's funny. And once they met Koki, Koki was like, I have memories, but they don't feel like mine, yada, yada, yada. And that's where it kicks off. And pretty much each episode, like we were saying before, is like a ridiculous time jump between each. And it pretty much just follows Rin. Koki's bloodline, because you can't even say Koki, but Koki's bloodline. Mm-hmm. And the assistant as they go up against Apos, which is the main villain. Apos, as he tried to manipulate things in the background to get his way and become like the guardian and shit. And that person was sadistic as fuck. Did you see what he did to the assassin after Rin kills her at the first beginning? That woman at the end was pretty much just a cyborg.
Yeah.
Laura?
The cyborg. Yeah, Laura. Lauren or whatever.
Yeah.
But she was immortal. I don't get why.
But
then again,
he was a bit. No, she was. Yeah, apparently she was immortal. But by the end, it was just her brain that was immortal. Like she didn't have no body. That's why she was like, take the seed out of me and throw it into that guy before we throw him into that weird structure thing, which is just a bunch of women. That thing, whatever. I don't even know what to fucking call it. Like this shit's so weird. It was like
it's an egg.
That big ass thing was an egg. The statue of all the women like
Yeah. Oh, the throne.
The throne.
No, that was a tree.
That was a tree?
Yeah.
That was the base of the tree. Oh, yeah, it was the tree because at the end it showed. Ugh. Yeah, because that dude, there was a guy that showed up, Tajimori. He was there for a short time. He was the last episode.
Yeah,
and he shows up. He was the guardian of the tree, and that Apos was the son.
Character so quick, and watch him die.
Bro,
cool. What?
Bro, that boy was so strong. They was like, you like him? Take his ass. They took his ass away in half an episode. That shit was crazy. You know what? My boy got laid though. They had like sex right in the courtyard. And I'm just like watching, like I'm watching it, and I had the volume up, right, because I'm working. And I was like, oh, I look over. I was like, what the fuck? He's having sex with Rin, and then he dies. He knocked her up. He was like, now you have my heir to the.
The longest. I gotta be a Guinness World Record for blue balls.
Yo, then he was the original person that found her, right? When he was doing, yes, that's what. Yeah, thank you. You said I was waiting for you. I was like, since the feudal era. No boy was waiting since the Warring States in Japan, yo.
You know what? I got geek. That's commitment, man. That man started out with pigeon letters, and then as the world changed, when I start calling, then he was having dates online. I was just like, yo, this is so weird.
Commitment for years, but he also had to stay and protect the tree. But he had to that person Apos was his son.
His son, yeah.
Yeah, so he got it on with somebody. I'm just saying.
Somebody.
They ever have a son. And for the longest time, like through the show, I couldn't understand why every male that eats the fruit goes berserk. But his son Apos was normal. And they pretty much revealed why he didn't go berserk. It's because he was he had both reproductive organs. That shit was weird. That was a weird reveal, but yeah, you know. Do you, boo? Do you? I was like, okay.
It
explains everything. No, it was perfect. It was just like, you know, like when you don't expect that theme at all, and then it just like pops up. It's almost like when they used to go to that bar to get information. And the woman's like, you know what kind of payment I like? It was just a big sex scene. Like, I was just like, what the fuck? So this thing rated R.
For so many people.
That shit is NC-17. Don't show this to your kids.
Rated R. Yo, this is just me, right? But when Mimi went back to the same woman to find out information, I was like, bruh, it's like we passed the whole 2.0 kind of thing, and she's still doing this. Like, she can't touch me unless she bring like a doctor's letter saying, yes, I am clean. It's 2.0. I haven't worn it. Like, you gotta download it to my skin, and then that
one was doing that shit for generations, bro. Like, that's how she was brokering information for years. But you see how that because you remember the assistant went for information, and the assistant was, even though she was like in the body of a young girl, because I guess that's when she became immortal. Obviously, after living all that time, her brain's obviously matured, and she shows up there, and the woman's like, you know how I want my payment. And I guess up to that point, that girl was a virgin.
Yeah.
And as soon as that shit happened, she turned up, bro. She became a nun. You know, a nun. She became a monk. And women used to come to her for healing.
Man, that was some good healing, boy.
Healing. And I'm just going through my head. I was like, wow. This is what we're doing, huh? This is what we doing here, guys. Like,
there was some very, very strong character development points in there.
Yeah.
Because even her linguistics and how she spoke changed.
Mm-hmm.
Like she was more expressive. Before she was more expressive and gleeful, and she used to wear like a lot of short skirts and stuff, and she was really open to guys. After that, she was guarded, boy. She was like, "Yo, I know who you are."
She put up the wall of Jericho around that bitch. But it makes sense because I mean you still especially when you ain't more. Yeah, we had to march around that bitch 7 times though just to get it. I can't believe that's a fucking story. Who wrote that shit? I want to know who wrote that shit. Which book is it? Anyway. Yeah, they had to blow trumpets and shit, bro. Like, cause no structural engineering didn't exist back then for some reason. If a trumpet would bring down wall, I'm just saying. Anyway, so.
Those power is magnificent.
Oh Lord. So, bro, how did we even end up here? Yeah, so, but what was crazy is, it was actually pretty interesting to see, like, the immortality be tested, especially when Rin dies at the end of episode 4?
So 4? Oh my god.
Well, no, the reason I say is because she went through a like, at least in the other, she was still technically, body was still there in a way, even though it was like wrecked.
Yeah.
In 4, she went through a plane turbine engine. Like there should be nothing of her. You just see blood. She's like, this gonna hurt. I was like, this gonna hurt.
That was funny. She was like, no. I was like, oh no. What? That's all you gonna say? Like, I also like the fact that even though she was killed so many years,
so many times,
she was still guarded, and she wasn't all powerful because she was gay. She ass handed to her. Like,
oh man, she got
when that woman turned cyborg every time, but
bro.
It wasn't like she was still around forward, all genocidal, like that Barry. I can just jump on this person and stuff. Like she was guarded. She was like, "Yo, this shit still hurt."
Oh yeah, especially when she started to heal.
Oh yeah.
I remember when Kiko. What's up?
Oh, Kikoki.
Oh yeah, Koki found she had in the fucking alley, and she had a rejuvenated.
Oh,
bro, she's like, "Don't look." And he looked. Yeah, and it traumatized my boy because he had to go back. He had to talk to the girl. The girl's like, yeah, man. Every time somebody sees it for the first time, fucks them up. And he stuck around. And it was also interesting to see how they roped in his whole like bloodline and why his lineage and why he kept showing up next to Rin throughout history.
Yeah.
So that was pretty interesting to see how they was tied together. Because at first I was like, why they keep running in? I was like, dude, like, why they keep running into each other? Even the daughter.
Yeah, like
2 generations now.
World, but
this is ridiculous. So because she also disappeared for a good while. Because when she went through the plane turbine, saving dude from the cyborg chick. Not the assassin, the girl that uploaded her consciousness to the internet.
The doctor, yeah.
Yeah. When she saved it, and she disappeared for a while, and then she like lost her memory. And when they finally showed the son, at that point he was like a young adult, like 20, 21. When they showed him the second time, he was a grown ass 40-year-old man with a big ass daughter.
Yeah.
When he finally found her again.
A whole what do you call that? Incorporation.
Yeah, he was rich as shit too.
Yep.
Yeah.
That man took real life and all he experienced is jumping on a plane and being kidnapped. I was like, you know what? Take my plane and make some money.
Yeah. Because at one point he looked like he was about to be a shitbag. Yeah, he was like doing some. He had like piercings. I'm not saying that piercings and stuff is bad. It's just the way he was portrayed at that age. Like he wasn't talking to his mom and shit.
Yeah, he was portrayed the same way that all the other people who was live diving out on the
Yeah,
streets, who just
yeah.
live in the cyber world. And then he might turn out to be a bae. And man, I was like, what also made me laugh is that after that event, man, I was like, I never went back in.
Never. But boy.
Yeah, for me, I'll build all the programs for you, but
I ain't going back in that hole. He like it's funny because it was showing his daughter was still using it like to buy clothes. Cause by the time they showed the daughter, I guess you never actually put real clothes on. You just use the program.
Holograph, yeah.
Holographic clothing and shit. And my boy was still dressing normal. Like he was putting. He's like, nah, bro.
I'm sure I ain't playing with it.
Nah, bro. I see what happens when you fuck around with that shit, bro. You
exactly.
Crazy
you
women.
get a whole program in love with you. That was a
woman.
episode.
That woman, when she was alive, and then she literally uploaded herself and killed her real body just to like stalk that dude. Like, damn, commitment. Do we call that commitment?
Yeah, boy, I have seen father-daughter complexes, but that was a father-daughter complex. It was like, nope. You will not.
She was like,
and I will be forever. I can have anything I want. I am God. But God needs a body right now. So
God needs cyborg body. So man, it's weird ass show. And then like another weird part was when the assassin Laura started like dressed up as Rin. I started going around fucking assassinating all the immortals. So the way you kill them is you take the time seed. And once you take the time fruit out of them, they'll like turn into dust. She was just going around murdering people that everyone was like, damn. I was like, damn, Rin, you come back from being shredded into murder. Obviously at that point they know. I was like, something's weird. But then they obviously had the one that had no memory.
Thought she had like a split personality.
Split personality, right. So, because one minute she was clueless.
Yeah, and then another she was Rin.
And she was Rin. She was just murdering people. And then I was like, oh, okay. Once she showed up with all those... Once we realized what was going on and Laura showed up to the place where her assistant was with all them angels. Oh, the angels are there.
Listen, that was trying to watch, dude. I was like, yo.
Especially when she tied her up to the tree.
That was so hard to watch. I think what was hard for me was the bathroom scene. That man went NB. Like, that man, they're just chewing forever. And I was like, Jesus. This is graphic.
Pretty graphic, bro. They didn't hold nothing back in this one. It wasn't obviously as far as that other show. But you know what show I'm talking about, bro.
No.
Redo the Healer, man. Come on.
Oh. Yeah, forget what I was thinking of.
I know you forgot about it. That's what I was saying. It's nowhere near that like crazy. But yeah, they definitely didn't shut away from like sexual teams.
That would be forever one of my funniest memories. Ha! Crunchyroll. We'll show the ceiling. Okay, they're done. Nope. Back to the ceiling.
Yeah, the edited versions was funny, bro. What made the edited versions even weirder is because they went to the ceiling, but the fucking dialogue was still going. So you hear all the weird noises, and you're just looking at the roof like,
yeah,
what the fuck?
And then Crunchyroll was like, "Look, we can't do this no more." Chato.
Yeah, I think
minutes of this episode.
Yeah, they just started skipping, right? They stopped the moving, and they just cut.
Episode was 12 minutes. The man was like, "You made sure the intro. You made sure he walking." No, sorry. Yeah, because the intro was him having sex with the bunny girl or whatever it was. They made cut all that. show he walking, show the plot, show the manga to the players, done. Credits. It was beautiful.
Dang, bro. Honestly, I haven't watched like past episode 2, so I think I was just like I can't deal with this roof shit.
Yeah.
I didn't watch anymore. I have read the manga though, so I am not holier than thou, to be honest. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. So this anime is pretty short. Good story. You should definitely check it out if you're looking for something to watch. It's only 6 episodes, so you can knock it out pretty quick. 6 episodes, about an hour long. You can find it on Funimation or on some online site. We're gonna just go ahead and jump into the ratings. But there ain't really much to talk about it without spoiling everything.
Yeah, we're trying to be good to you guys. We don't want to ruin your.
Hey, if you want something ruined, go watch the first 7 episodes of this podcast, bro. 7, 8 episodes.
We ain't ruined Blade. We didn't even get to talk about it.
No, we didn't. I was about to say, all right. Yeah, we didn't really ruin Blade. Cause we didn't talk about it that good. I saw how that's one of the longest episodes. I know one that I did ruin though. Promise Neverland, bro.
Yeah, I was going to say Promise Neverland.
That was a solo app, and I know I keep talking about it, but fuck, I destroyed that shit. I spoiled everything. I pretty much just narrated the whole show. I was just like, yeah, so this, all the way down to the end. I was like, oh yeah, the guy probably not dead. He's like, what the fuck, Shawn? Oh god, for good times. Yeah, we're still trying to find, cause I didn't know what to talk about. I didn't know how to talk about it by myself. Yeah. So I was just like, I'm just. Once we, then after that was trailers, but all right. Ratings. You want to go first? Or you want me to go first?
You go first.
Let me see if I could. Okay, so music. I thought the score through the film was okay. I mean, you didn't really pay attention to it because of all the weird shit that was happening.
I don't think there was much music either.
There wasn't really much music. At the beginning, they had some at the intro, but it was pretty short.
Yeah.
Especially because the episode's an hour. You was just whatever. Just ignore it. So, I'm not going to rate the songs because I really didn't care. But, I thought the story was actually good. Really good. So, I get the story, of 5. If you really piece it all together, straight, once you realize why, Yoki.
Hey!
Koki, not Yoki. Koki. Once you realize the reason Koki's lineage and stuff kept tying into Rin, that was pretty cool. Find out how Rin actually found out that she was immortal and stuff, and then also find out why Apos was trying to do what he did at the end.
Yeah.
All that good stuff. It actually made really good sense. I thought there were some good villains in here outside of Apos. So I think the characters as well. There's a really strong characters in this. There's some good character development, especially because there's so much time jump.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna give the characters I'll give that 5.2.
Okay.
For the characters. So characters and story 5. Animation was good, but we talked about earlier, man, even though they were smaller characters, the detective and stuff, I really wish they had focused on the aging aspect of some of their characters.
Yeah, and the plot device to show the time jumps.
Time jumps. Even though you saw the world. Yeah. So I give that a 4.
Okay. So what do you give it overall?
Ooh, this was a tough one. I give it a 4. 4 out of 5.
4 out of 5. Okay.
Honestly, man, it was good, but bro, it was just too weird, dog. This shit was weird as fuck. I've seen some weird anime, like Nikki, Future Diary and shit. Like that shit was weird. Like god damn man, that shit was like
that actually wasn't weird to me. But I get what you're saying.
oh yeah. Okay, well, I see you understand what I'm saying. Like bro, there was we didn't talk about. There was a part at the beginning. This one woman was trying to find the key to immortality, and that's why she's the one that cloned old dude. Remember she was beating. She started beating off the corpse. I'm like, what the fuck? So yeah, so 4 out of 5 for your boy. Strong anime, strong. I recommend it to anybody if they could handle the weirdness. But I don't think it was quite.
It went back to that old time anime feel, man.
Yeah, it was especially coming out in 2008. The art style and stuff was definitely a classic art style. So what about you, man?
Characters, I give them a 4.
Okay.
And I think I give them a 4 because of the same plot device. I think the Toki and the detective kind of they were important, so it would have been nice to see how they developed in time properly, rather than just them aging. Because, like, unless you really watch episode 3 properly in like an analysis video, you actually don't understand that he actually married the girl that her brother was the angel.
You are right. Like I picked that up like loosely. I was like, oh, that's the he married the sister of the first angel guy that shows up. Yeah. And also, sorry, my bad. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I wish they had like, did the son hate the father? Like, I wish they had like kind of, because it looked like he kind of resented him, but you never once he dies, you never really, they don't mention him really, except that when he says the last name, it was like, oh, you're that guy's son.
But you never called him for like the dad's birthday or dad's anniversary or something like that. Yeah. So I mean, I get why they did it, how they did it, but I would have to give it a strong 5. It just needed a little bit more detail, so that
a little more fleshing out,
the time jump, and stuff like that. But I think the ending to reveal why he was so important and everything was really good. So I get a 4 out of 5. Hang on a moment.
Yeah, definitely a strong one, the characters and stuff.
Score.
Okay.
Like I said, there wasn't really any score. So I can't really rate that. Characters, we did that. Story, I give it a 5. Nah, I get a 4 out of 5. It was weird. It was so weird.
I told you, man. It's like it's like walking on that tightrope. Like, if you give it a 5, I understand. But if you give it a 4, I understand.
Yeah, like, and I usually give 4 to 5 animes that I could sit down watching it.
Yeah, we're not watching this again.
I enjoyed the story, and with this, I enjoyed the story, but I don't see myself watching it
again. Yeah.
I don't know if it's because of the length of time or if there was like too much of a confusion as you was watching it. So
also, once you know all the fucking plot reveals, you kind of like for some of it.
So you know what? I'll give the story a 5 because it was a good story. It actually was a good story. It was the animation that failed the story, not necessarily the rating itself. So I'll give the story a 5. Overall, I'll give it a 4 out of 5. The ending was weird as hell, but it was good.
Yeah,
it tied off the story really, really well. The character development was the main characters, I should say, was really, really well. The introduction to another main character, even though his role lasted like 12 minutes throughout 2 45-minute episodes, it was still good how they explained why he was the main character.
Oh, you mean Tajimori?
Yeah, Tajimori. And the
Tajimori.
antagonist's motivation and how they tied it off at the end as to why he was doing all this stuff for so long. And constantly terrorizing them and putting them through pain and all this stuff. Like I thought the story really ended it
well. Their memories,
man. Yeah, as to why he was doing that, and then what he wanted overall. Like he knew he was it, but he wanted to be it. So it was good. I get a 4 out of 5.
4 out of 5. Yeah, sounds good. It's really good. But it's not great. And also, like, be kind of hard pressed. Like, if someone's just getting into anime, you're not giving them this.
Don't watch this. Don't start this.
It's almost like, yeah. This is not a good jumping point. This is not a good jumping point.
It's not even like if you watch this for your first anime, you will never watch anime again. You'll be like, nope.
Yeah, make sure. Alright, so 4 out of 5, guys. If you're anime junkie, I'll say check it out. It's been out for a while, so, go ahead, check it out. Rin, Daughters of Insanity. No. Of Weirdness. No. Of Mnemosyne. Alright. Ride me! Okay, so on to our next section. So Netflix went ahead and canceled this show. So we,
yep.
What was it? Jupiter's Legacy.
Really
I honestly think it's because they were expecting. I don't know. Was it because it's not as successful as like The Boys and shit from like Amazon? I don't know. Like usually Netflix gives like shows at least 2 seasons before they fucking kick their ass. So. I honestly don't know.
You honestly want my opinion?
Go for it, bro, because I don't know. Usually, like, I've seen some really bad shows get second seasons on Netflix, so... well, not all.
It was because it wasn't progressive enough.
It wasn't progressive enough? What are you talking about? There was, like, everything in there. There was...
Yes, but how memorable were they? There you go.
You had the daughter. She was sleeping with everybody.
Yes, but she was sleeping with everybody because she was.
And yeah. And also, if you're basing it off the source material, like when that comic was written, it was a different time. I guess so. I don't find that. I hope that's not it because.
You hope so, right? But we've seen that
because it don't make sense. You know why sometimes I feel like if it's just me, like there's a lot of shows that people shit on that I'm just like, I thought that shit was actually pretty good. This always happens. This always happens, man. I'm tired of being I'm gonna start just following the crowd now. Obviously I'm joking, but I'm gonna just like start agreeing with everybody. Oh yeah, that movie was shit. Nah, I can't do it. I don't know. I didn't think it was the greatest. Obviously, I've seen better. But I wonder, I feel like one thing I would have done, though, I know one thing for certain is they have a lot of shock value in the first season. Like a lot of shows nowadays. Like, okay, let's take The Boys for instance. Like, what's the first thing you see is that... You ever watched The Boys?
Yeah.
Remember that guy ran through his girlfriend?
Yeah.
Like, the only really brutal part, and obviously all the other shit that happened, the only really brutal part of that outside of the dark overtone and, like, living up to the dad's legacy and all that shit was when they had that fight.
Yeah,
the fight. When all those heroes died. And what I've learned and what I've noticed is now a lot of films that require deep thought don't work. There was this show called Solos. It's on Amazon Prime. I'll tell you, check it out. But it was shot like, bro, it got Anne Hathaway, Morgan Freeman and shit, right? But the way it is literally because it was during the peak quarantine. So it's just one act. Each 7 episodes, and each episode has one actor, and they're pretty much just like they're acting, but it's a lot of dialogue, right?
Yeah.
And for you to grasp what's happening, you have to listen to the dialogue because they're telling a story. Like this, one of the episodes, this woman, she got it. She starts off and she's just talking about like, you know, I had a shitty life, yada yada, and she got a miscarriage. She was drinking, and at the end of it, you realize she was in a coma because she crashed a car and killed a kid that she used to babysit, right? But you don't know that. Like in part of it, she's like, I don't remember anything. So pretty much, it's just her.
Is that the show where Anne Hathaway had like bipolarism?
No. This one, she's the first episode, and she did like it was like something like time travel.
Okay.
A little time travel thing, but I'm just saying like because it got a lot of bad reviews, but that shit's fucking excellent. That's what I'm saying. Like if you, I guarantee, like I'll tell you to watch it. You got Amazon, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's free for Amazon Prime, so you should check it out. 7 episodes, but like once if you sit down and watch movies, so when you watch it, you're gonna be like, yo, this shit is powerful, right? But the problem is it's one actor, and when there's a solo actor scene like that, you gotta actually like listen to what they're saying because they're building the world for you. That shit got shitted on, bro.
Shawn, let me explain why.
It can't be progressive because
no.
I was like, it's definitely
even progressive.
What's up? Critical thinking.
Everybody, like for the past 2-3 years, like I think we said it in another episode too. A lot of bad shit has been happening. And the thing is, everybody's scared. So, as humans, as people with ids, your id goes to self-preservation. And a lot of people are seeing that self-preservation as pleasure and laziness and things like that. So, if you look at the reason why, because I was speaking to another animator too, and he was saying the same thing. He was like, "Yo, if you really to get your stuff out there, you gotta please people."
Well, I mean, yeah,
and it feels a bit dirty because that's not what you want to do. You want to tell your story.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
When people get the chance to tell their story, they get shitted on because it's not pleasurable. It doesn't hit the pleasure factor. Yeah. And then the messed up thing is the pleasure factor seems to be things that just happen that is terrible as shit. Like a man loses his girlfriend when a superhero runs through her, but that's amazing. Hannibal Lecter is locked up, like he's eat people, but that's amazing. Even though that came up way before these times, but still,
I was like,
Well, I was doing research on like books that got sales because of the movies, and the movie DVD sales went up in the last 3 years.
Okay.
And I was like, yo, this is, and somebody said it like, how can you compete with that? Because you spreading positivity don't get paid. So networks ain't really
also yeah, well, obviously shop value sells. Yeah. I also think obviously you can't really shit on like the internet and stuff, but like platforms like TikTok and stuff like that where you got like a minute, 30 seconds, minute, Instagram, minute, stuff like that.
Long form media.
It's not helping long form art. Yeah, it's not helping long.
long form
Yes.
art. Yeah, because
Yeah. So when go ahead.
you could absorb 3 hours of TikTok stuff, and they're like completely different stories.
Mm.
But then you have to sit down and you have to focus, and that also comes into the pleasure factor as well. You got 10 seconds, like
You need that.
um,
You need that quick instant gratification,
yeah,
man.
instant gratification, because that's what a lot of marketing gurus are kind of saying now. Like, you got 5 seconds to hold somebody's attention, and I'm like,
I mean,
you would have to skin out to grab somebody's attention in 5 seconds. Like, it's
motherfucker
not
says
possible.
skin out, bro.
It's not possible. It is not. It is not possible. Like, the only way that you could attract people to your stuff is if they genuinely want the stuff. So you can't. But yeah, that's why I notice a lot, and then which
Right.
is why, like, a lot of people are like, "Oh, you need to market on social media and stuff." And to be honest, social media really isn't that healthy,
Oh, it's
because
not. It kind of.
they,
I ain't even gonna lie, man. It affect me a little bit too, especially attention span. But
yeah, and
especially like you find yourself looking at your phone when you're doing something else. I'm just like, dude. So yeah, it's definitely
yeah,
not. It's definitely not. I ain't even gonna lie to you, man. Especially because, like I said, the short term format. But
yeah,
because of that, is affecting a lot of long format media, which is like movies and stuff that don't have a bunch of explosions or shot values, like somebody
yeah,
getting sexuous all or some shit, or a murder, like a fucking murder movie or some shit like that. So when you
yeah,
get anything that requires a lot of thinking, reading between the lines, so stuff like that, you for some strange reason, not all the time, but a lot of times, it tends to have like lower ratings.
because you realize Christopher Nolan's last 3 movies got really bad reviews.
Tenet got bad
One,
reviews.
Tenet,
I'll be real with you, bro. I'm gonna be real with you though. Like Tenet, my brain hurt. I ain't gonna lie, bro. Like, I love, man. Even Edwin was like, "Yo," but I've watched Tenet a couple times because I got HBO Max.
yeah,
Yo, I've seen something where people hitting on his Batman movies now.
yeah,
They say that I guess because
it's too long, and it's not
too
suitable
long,
for
and they're saying
kids.
it's whitewashed or not, because what's his name, Bane is
Uh-huh.
in the comments is
Mexican guy.
yeah, Mexican guy, yeah, Hispanic character, and obviously he made him a white dude, and obviously Ra's al Ghul, Ra's al Ghul and his daughter and stuff,
Yeah.
and I'm just like, damn, guys, because I actually thought those films were pretty good.
Yep.
So yeah, I think I saw someone say that Batman Robin was better than him, and I was like, you need to shut your mouth. The only redeeming quality of Batman Robin is Arnold. I'm sorry, that's internal bias, but yeah. So I honestly think that's what affects a lot of Zack Snyder movies,
Yeah.
except for Sucker Punch. That was just a bad story.
No, I actually
You like Sucker Punch?
So I was like, yo, this is a pretty cool story.
It's like visually like I enjoy it. It's just I don't know, man. It just didn't click with me, and it happens. It happens.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But like, I ain't gonna sit here and act like he didn't do 300.
Like Dunkirk wasn't good for me.
Yeah, yeah. Like,
But
I didn't like Dunkirk because
you know why it wasn't good for me? I'm not a history buff.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Like,
I'm a mythology buff.
I kind of I like watched it. I was like, okay, cool, but I won't watch it over.
Yeah.
But one thing my dislike of it did not go along the line of which what I've seen. Like I saw a couple people hating on it because, well, there was no people of character. I was like, well, I don't think that period there was a lot of people of color fighting in that battle. I don't know. I don't know about that history thing. From what I think, it was mainly the British Army and stuff was mainly white. At least in Dunkirk. So I don't know. But that was not what.
Okay.
It was
mainly white
mm-hmm.
soldiers were recorded. That's the best way to put it.
Thank you, pretty much. You know what I mean?
Because that front infantry.
Yeah, and yeah, you're right.
Like that's what you hear a lot of the British Army stuff talking about the 2nd Battalion. First Battalion, then important boy. But that's a whole thing in history. That but speaking to a lawyer who's writing a book on it, and he actually wants me to help him publish it. And when I read it, I was like, "Yo, this is deep." But
honestly, there's a lot. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff we don't know because redacted.
Yeah,
redacted. He's like, damn, man, y'all just like trying to delete everybody. Anyway, so but yeah, the main point we was trying to say is that a lot of these shows, I think, because it takes a while to build the story and everything, that if you don't get that instant hook factor, a lot of the times in that first episode, a lot of times they start to lose out. So I think that's probably what happened with Jupiter's Legacy.
Jupiter's Legacy, yeah. Because remember we were saying the same thing about High Rise Invasion.
Yeah,
the anime story was great, but we understand why they chopped it up the way they did because they need to procure the money.
Yeah,
kind of like
they need
Castlevania as well.
Yeah.
That first season was action packed, and then after that they slowed it down.
Yeah. But they needed to get it hooked. They needed to get that hook in. So now that we discuss it, I kind of understand. I see why it got snipped.
Yeah.
Which is sad because like I watched it and I was like, man, this is a really built out, fleshed out. They showed how they got their powers and everything. They took their time with that. They showed the motivations, everything. I was like,
you like, yo, I don't like this, and you was like, that's what we're waiting on season 2, and I was like, yeah, maybe season 2 will really like bring it out.
Mm-hmm. But then you found out there was no season 2. So what do you think about the code, bruh? Because this is what we were supposed to be talking about. Somehow we end up talking about Dunkirk.
The code.
The code.
You go first, because
Alright, so 50. The thing, I definitely understand the code. I understand that having that pillar, because obviously you at the point of when the code was created, you were probably the strongest beings on Earth, right? So you can't just go around fucking smacking people out the fucking window and dropping them from skyscrapers and shit. Like, you get what I'm saying? Throwing them against the wall and having them exploded. Like, you can't, and also you can't get involved. You can't be biased because you can't be a hero to everybody and then just fight on the behalf of the U.S. during the wars and stuff. So I understand that. Unfortunately, you cannot have. The thing about it is you got to be able to evolve as time goes on. You start having super villains. You start having villains that have powers. Before, when it started, it was just them with powers. And then, as you go on, you start having villains with powers, and then you have super villains. So you kind of got to evolve the code to meet the times, and I think that was the fatal flaw that what was the name of the main hero dude? The oil man? Was it Jupiter? No, he wasn't Jupiter.
Nah, I can't remember his name. That's a good question.
Say like,
I keep thinking Omni-Man, but that is.
But I was like, yeah, you know what's funny? Omni-Man kept coming in my head. It's not Omni-Man.
Is he same suit?
Jupiter's Legacy. Dang, I can't. Alright, so I'm gonna just call him Father Jupiter because I can't remember the name of the dude.
The Utopian.
Utopian! Shit, he was even close to fucking Omni, man. Anyway, Omni. So yeah. So I kind of understood. Unfortunately, bro, that villains don't give a fuck. And once you got a super villain, like when the son had to choose between saving his father and everybody,
or breaking the code,
like it's hard for anybody to make an argument about it. And what I liked about the show is it kept pounding on that question because even the young superheroes were like, dude, we dying out here, man. And then that girl, when she died, and she was like, I didn't break the code. That means she probably could have murdered that guy. But she probably could have killed, she probably could have killed that guy. But she didn't do it, causing her to cause her life. And then the mom, and she didn't break the code. That's what she kept saying. I didn't break the code. I didn't break the code.
Yeah.
And then the wife, she, when she was fighting him, actually, I like that sequence. That was a really nicely shot sequence with her moving fast and shit. I was like that stuff. And she beat the dude, and the police was like, did you take care of him? He's like, he gets to live. And all going through my head is like, how do you explain that to like... But then again, you gotta ask yourself, okay, we got a situation right now. Not to bring too much politics into this, but you got like police fucking shooting the fuck out of us right now. Oh my god, why am I laughing? I'm so jaded, right? In the US, and the thing about it is they should have a code, right? Like why they bending the code outside of, you know what I mean? You got me saying? Like you got the immunity stuff going on. That all they have to do is say it's a threat, and then they could use force. So I kind of understand why the code's there, man. Like it's hard to disagree with it because we've also in real life seen what happens if you try to bend the rules too much. Then how far is too far and stuff like that. But if it's a super villain, man, my thing though, if it's a super villain, punch a hole in that motherfucker. I mean like a legit super villain, like that guy they fought. I can't remember which episode it was. Like I had no problems because at that point he had already murdered like 3 heroes.
You don't even need to go there. Just go back to Zod. Zod was a perfect example.
I'm gonna be real with you,
and a perfect ending because
Superman. Oh yeah, he wasn't gonna stop.
He was like, "Yo, you love them so much, you can watch them burn."
I say you love them. These humans you love so much, you can mourn for them. And you know what? I'm gonna give it to Superman in that movie, Man of Steel. He begged. He begged. Yeah, stop! No, you gotta break his neck.
He fought tooth and nail for that code, B. He was like, oh, I keep giving you a chance. And
even after they flattened half the city.
Yeah. And the underlying story, the underlying dialogue, like, I keep giving you chances. And Zod was like, I don't want chances.
I don't want chances.
How's it? And
especially after they crash the ship.
That was interesting because that was something that they getting close to ending Supernatural, and they just used the same analogy because the guy that was Lucifer, he was so
damn, Lucifer's still there. Shit.
Yeah, B. So they killed Lucifer, the angel. So the vessel has been released, but the guy that the vessel has been Lucifer so long that he loves killing people. So he's been going around murdering people.
Oh fuck.
And like Sam keeps giving the guy chances. Like, hey, you could change. Hey, you don't need to do this. Hey, and he might literally turn around and tell you like, you keep trying to fix something that's broken without understanding that it's not broken.
It's not broken, yeah.
So Sam.
That's just the way he is right now.
Yeah. So Dean was like, "Oh, that's what it is."
I give it a Dean though. I'm gonna give it a Dean, right? Dean, if there wasn't Sam, Dean would probably kill a lot. Cause you remember, I don't know if you remember, there was an episode with the child of like a beast or something. He just like showed up at the fucking apartment, blew. He just killed the fucking woman. Even though like Sam was like telling him, no, we can't do it. They didn't do anything wrong yet. And he was like,
they had left together, and
Dean
dropped it home and was like, yeah,
I'm gonna go for burgers. Boom! I was like, no, that was an interesting conversation, because then you ask yourself, do I wait until they do something wrong, or do I just nip it in the bud early? Dilemmas. Mark.
The code.
Yeah, the code. So, yeah.
So the code for me, I think you pretty much explain it as it is. You gotta adapt with the times, and at the time that Utopian has started the code, he was right, because villains at
that point were just like bank robbers and shit.
Yeah, it was just bank robbers and stuff. So you give them the punishment that meets the crime. But times have changed. These villains ain't coming to steal money or like control the earth and things like that. They literally enjoy being the antagonist and killing superheroes. So
I know they also got powers at this point.
I kind of thought, yeah, and they got powers. So it's not like you could subdue them as easily as possible. You literally are staking your life now. And I think that was the issue that Utopian wasn't fully understanding.
Yeah, you couldn't get past. It's one of those situations where older generations keep preaching to you about how it was back in the day, and you're like, it's not back in your day anymore though. Like, we have computers now. Tuition is 10 times how much 15 times what it was when you did. Don't tell me that you went to college for $1,000. Yeah, that's the thing though.
We deep diving.
Yeah, bro. Like, shit, we close. Anyway, that's a different story. But yeah, I thought that code thing, because even like at the end when you realize that his Utopia's brother was trying to usurp, unfortunately we will never get to fully see that fleshed out. It's a little predictable. Yeah, but
and
you know, and
he's always been that way.
Who? The brother?
Yeah.
He was
Silver Fox. Because at the end they kind of hint that he's who got rid of him and turned him evil. So what happened there?
That's interesting, because it looks like they were both trying to tell Utopia something, but Utopia just sided with the brother. So we don't know that. That's another storyline that I would like to see. Like, honestly, I'm actually interested in this show, but according to Rotten Tomatoes, I'm like one of the 38%. Fuck Rotten Tomatoes, bro. I fucking hate that site. I hate Rotten Tomatoes with everything in my fucking being. What's up?
Do they get paid?
The
critics.
The critics, yeah. They're paid critics. They're supposed. That's why there's a critic section, which is like the professional critics, and then you have a section. Like, if I signed up for Rotten Tomatoes, I'll be able to vote and do it, but that would just be general audience. But what I realize a lot of the time is that the professional critics are like, "This show is garbage," and then you'll look at public, 82%. 82% like the show.
It's like,
unless it's Disney, they automatically get
it's rate
80%
anchoring.
Yeah,
I find a lot of people do that. If the critics like it, a lot of people go with what the critics say.
Well, you know my thoughts. I don't say it because alright. So on my TikTok, I won't say review, but I do like what we do with anime here, but I do it obviously in a minute. So I'm just like, yeah, I watched this show. It's about this. I thought it was okay, so I give it a 7 out of 10. So it's just one. I'm not going into explanation of shit, right?
Yeah.
But I always make sure I say, watch the movie yourself and come up with your own conclusion. Because I think critics are shit. But how can I say that even though we review anime? But we always make sure to say, hey, make sure to check it out yourself. You might get a different opinion. Let us know what you think. You know what I mean? But I'm not out here
because somebody might see something that we don't see, and they'll be like, "Yo, that's so true." And then we watch it again, and be like, "Oh, there's 3 different perspectives. Like, which one do I really support now?" It's like, this is so cool.
And I think why I have such a disdain to a lot of like the big critics is because when they shit on something, it's almost like they try to convince you that it's trash, so you shouldn't watch it. Instead of like, this is what I think about it. Hey, but they getting paid. We ain't getting paid. I'm just watching it for enjoyment.
You don't know if Disney be like, you know.
I will tell you something. Everything Disney seems to make seems to be gold on that fucking site, so I don't know.
I know, right? Cinderella and Frozen was garbage.
You didn't like Frozen? Let it go.
Don't start.
You don't like it because your kids keep watching it?
No, I hate it because it's stupid. If you put me in a room and strapped me to this chair and super glue me with my pants down, my balls out, like how they did in Quantum of Solace, and put a TV in the room and say you got a choice: King's Game for the rest of your life or Frozen. Turn that bitch to that Japanese anime, dude. You gonna put
King's Game though?
Yeah,
jeez. That's a lot. At least you get 7 episodes of decent.
Yeah. And then the rest I just get to sit there and curse.
Actually, I like Frozen. I'm probably not as hype as a lot of people made it. Like they got like super hype, but I thought it was okay. I don't hate it, but there's not a lot of stuff that I hate. I was like King's Game. Thor Ragnarok. Let's make sure I love the character Thor. I love reading the comics and stuff. I love Odin's son. I just do not love Ragnarok.
Yeah.
And I'm starting to slowly. So I saw this interesting angle. We could just chat about some random stuff here before we end up the show. I saw this interesting angle. I saw someone talking about it. They were saying that if there was anyone that should have gone back in the past in Endgame and like change stuff with Thor, because he got. If you really look at Thor's story, and this is why I didn't like Ragnarok. Like if you really think of it, bro, he got put through the fucking ringer, dog. Got kicked out from home. His brother finds out the truth about his brother. His brother keeps fucking betraying him every fucking second. Yeah. Right? Let's think about it. He loses his father, even though his father wasn't that good. Loses his mom, which was actually a good parent, because Odin was trash, but finds out he had a sister. She assists the destruction of
Valhalla.
What's the name of it?
Not Valhalla.
Thank you. Not Valhalla. You know what I mean. Asgard. So Asgard's gone. He saves a bunch of people from off of Asgard. He loses his friends, even though they didn't really talk about it in fucking Thor Ragnarok. They made them look like non-important characters. Whatever. So he loses. He saves a bunch of people. Butts into Thanos. Thanos wipes out.
Yeah.
Thanos wipes out everybody.
The entire team of Thor Ragnarok. Asgard is not a place, it's a people. And that man wiped out from Idris Elba down to the low man.
His best friend.
They had a line for the past 3 movies.
Right. So he kills off all of them people. Right? And some survive, but he killed off most of them. He kills his brother. And despite how many times his brother betrayed him,
It was
still fucking killed. He was still his brother, so he killed that dude. Remember, he was like, in Infinity War, he was like, I feel like this time he's gone, right? And then, as he promised Thanos, I'm gonna make you bleed. You fucking that was Batman versus Superman, or something like that. But anyway, he hits him with the axe. Sorry, I think Batman vs Superman is a superior film.
No, the
hammer. He hits him with he had the axe at that point. He had the axe at that point in Infinity War.
Thanos? Oh yeah.
So remember, the hammer got destroyed in Ragnarok.
From Hela.
So, from Hela. So he had the axe at that point. Starbreaker, he thinks and then Thanos say, you always go for the head, snap. And then he lost another set of his people because Thor didn't kill him. So technically, like, Thor's story arc is like tragic as fuck, but it just gets overshadowed because, Captain America goes back to stay with his woman, Peggy.
Mm-hmm.
But when Thor tried to in Endgame, when he tries to warn his mom, and his mom's like, oh, I already know, and I'm just like, I don't give a fuck if you know, throw her under the fucking bag and drag her ass away before she dies, but you don't want to fuck with the timeline. So I think that's what
more for Tony that he started this all.
Oh Lord,
that was another story.
I think, and this is why I hate on Ragnarok so fucking much, bro. Like, that movie should have been way different, but it's a director and he's a comedic kind of director, so that was his angle.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we're gonna wrap up here because Dwayne gotta start, doing family time and stuff with his kids, his wife. I see him keep doing signs in the background like we almost done. But that was my 2-minute rant about my problems with the MCU. Yeah. Ragnarok on the MCU. And
I just don't like it. I
that's one of those.
Captain America and Ant-Man. That was the two best movies.
Yeah. Actually, think. Hey man, it's one of those instant gratification stuff. There's a lot of explosions and shit in there, so a lot of people overlook the story. And I hate time travel, and I have repeated this many times to you and many people around me. I hate that fucking plot device. If it was up to me, I would banish time travel's plot device. It makes no sense. All it does is it just creates plot holes.
Gratification because everyone wants to be. No, everyone would wish that they could go back in time and change things. And
talking about that.
Not you.
No. The reason I shake my head, and I'm gonna tell you this, me and my girlfriend Andy was talking, and she was like, wouldn't you like to go back in time? I was like, fuck no. She's like, why? Where in time can I go that they don't try to fucking make me a slave, damn it? Like, she was like, she said, don't you want to go back in Roman era? I was like, no. Then they end up in the Legion? Well, because we went to a Pompeii.
You'll be a
gladiator.
A gladiator.
Or just a regular house slave.
Boy, I'll choose gladiator. Either way, you get the knife in your boss.
No.
So.
What was we went to the Pompeii exhibit, and she was like, "Oh, it's so beautiful." And I was like, "Oh yeah, it was beautiful and stuff." She's like, if you had to pick a time to go back in a time machine," I was like, "I'm going forward." She's like, "What?" I was like, "Well, I can't go back to past U.S. because you got Jim Crow and all that weird shit. You go too far back, you got." If I lived in France, probably, but it's like, no, I'm good. I'm good.
I get back to the time where it was most peaceful. 1986. Before I was born.
I was like, shit, you go back before 1960.
that one cell is like, y'all go ahead.
You go to 1966. You go too early in 1966. You're still under British rule.
Yeah,
you know?
True.
And obviously, there's probably other places that there's a time period that'll be cool in Africa and stuff. But I told her, I'm going forward, man. I want to see the Earth crack after we finish destroyed from climate change. And with that said,
the moon split off.
Oh, you mean like what was it? The movie, the Time Machine.
Zero. We could relive all no zero. The moon split off, and everybody on Mars and get Earth because
yeah. There was a movie called The Time Machine, and the guy like the moon. They split the moon and fuck up the Earth. Or we trying to move the moon. You trying to do what?
Yeah, we wasn't getting enough moonlight. Like no, seriously, that I think that was but they moved the moon because China moved the moon or somebody moved the moon because obviously rise in the east, sets in the west, and they wanted more moonlight for power.
That's so fucking selfish. Like that was so selfish, dog. Like the level, to me, the Time Machine is probably the best time travel story ever written. To me, I haven't seen all of them, so I can't obviously comment. But to me, because it made sense, and the main reason I liked it is because he couldn't change the past. No matter how much he tried, all he did was change the way his girlfriend died.
Yeah, boy, she got stabbed.
Then.
I mean, at some point, right?
She got stabbed, ran over by a carriage.
Dude, when she get run over by a carriage, I'll be like, yo, dog, I get back. I get back. Well, I get back like 15 seconds. I'd rather you get stabbed. I could help you. I gotta jump in time. Because that was the issue. He kept trying to go back in time to stop her from being stabbed. No. The mistake you made is that the first time when she gets stabbed, you held her. Bruh, go forward in time, get a car, bring it back, move your ass over there.
a car ties with fucking carriages.
Hospital, and you save her. Done. That would end the movie so short, like 5 minutes. Like, but
I think the
hit by that carriage, me.
I think the what I liked about it is when he finally like butt his head after the Earth was falling apart because someone thought it was a good idea to move the moon. And he went forward, and then he talked to the guy that was underground. Those underground people, and the guy was explaining to him why time travel won't work. He was like, "Dub, the reason you built the time machine is because your girlfriend died. She has to die for that machine to exist."
Yeah.
And I was like, you see, that makes sense.
Events have to happen in order to create a catalyst. If they don't happen, you do nothing.
Yeah. You do nothing. Unless you, like, jump fucking realities and shit. But anyway, that's a totally different story. But that was a good little talk. I still hate time travel as a plot device with every fiber of my being, the same way I hate Rotten Tomatoes. They're up there, 1 and 2.
Still sucks outside of Captain America and Ant-Man.
Oh Lord.
Even Spider-Man.
Yo, I've heard. Oh, we could talk about so much shit, bro. I've heard like people like you know the Tom Holland Spider-Man is almost like Miles Morales. It's kind of Miles Morales, isn't it?
It's Miles Morales' story.
It's Miles Morales' story that they stuck Tom Holland. They stuck Peter Parker in there, right? I remember when I saw the first Spider-Man, I was like, wait. Because I never really read it, so I was like, this seems familiar. So I actually went and read the beginning and stuff, and I was just like, hey, this is Miles Morales' story.
That's why Miles Spider-Man 3 is into the universe. It's the same story.
Okay, we'll see. I'm gonna keep watching them all because I like that motherfucker got a cape or powers. I'm watching it because I like superhero shit. As much as it annoys me. But anyway, guys, we're gonna call it a wrap here. We had a hour 30 minutes. So
yeah.
Be sure to check out Rin If you looking for an anime to watch, 6 episodes, hour each, easy work.
Sure to check out Breaking Barretts too.
Breaking Barretts, man. I'm telling you, bruh. Y'all, I'm telling you, man. You know. Baby, ride me! Yeah, great show to check them boys out. Where you listen to music, Spotify, fucking YouTube, whatever. And until next time, stay safe out there. Peace!
See you later.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy, 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 oh boy. Hi, sir? Yeah, we need to talk. What is it now, Ethan? Well, sir, it's about the ads we have been running. They aren't producing results. Well, they had to change the video or some doohickey? Well, sir, maybe we need one of those funnel things. Run down to the hardware store and get me one. No, sir, funnels are... I don't know what to do. We'll build a big old webinar to last for days and explain the minute details of all the products in slow fashion so they understand it all. Sir! Look, none of that will work if your copy is absolutely boring and confusing. Boring? Confusing? You're kidding, right? What's boring about the fact that you can get DDR3 RAM with 128 gigabytes quad-core memory that exponentially increases the pixelation of your rendering process to produce 3D modulation of your videos in 4K? That's exciting. Okay, yeah, I hear it now. So how do we fix this? Well, we could hire this copywriter I found on Fiverr. They said they can help us. God dang it, Ethan. I don't know. That sounds like a lot of money. Okay, yeah, it might cost a bit, but it's worth it. It says here in this profile, the reason people don't sell is because they are using generic, confusing, and flat-tone ads that focus on using fear and complicated words to sell. When the truth is, simple and funny leaves a better impression on potential customers to buy your products and services. Yeah, but I don't know. Okay, sir. You remember that Geico ad with the Kimber Matumbo blocking everything? Yeah, that was a good one. Not in my house. Okay, and you remember the Direct TV ad with the husband singing the lyrics to the jingle? Watching the game. Heaven in the basement. And you remember when Russell Branson wore a dress to talk about Virgin Holidays? What did you do that same weekend? Dang it, I booked a $1,000 flight on a nighttime package for a helicopter that day. Alright, boy, you convinced me. Do it. Give him a call. Let's see what he can do. Ethan, dangnammit, I'm promoting you to manager. Because we hired that kid, sales are going through the roof. Yeah, I'm happy for you, sir. And thank you for the promotion. Dang it, let's share the wealth too. Give the boy a tip. We'll be back to using for our other ads or create something new for something else. Will do, sir. Will do. I'm so happy. I don't think we'll be needing that funnel now. Don't bother with the hardware store. But, sir, I give up.
Select one of our packages that fits your needs, or contact us to get started.